This is Garrett J. White, the authentic entrepreneur, coming at you real, raw, and relevant. I am in St. George, Utah, and it is gorgeous. Take a look around. Oh yeah, we are hanging out at the country club. This is the area. Actually, I think my cousin got married here like years ago. We're in Sunbrook in St. George, Utah, at my brother-in-law's place, hanging out down here. This is what we got going down. Kind of fun place to be. And little waterfalls. Golf course is right out here. We got a nice little river going on. Cool waterfall. So here's the download. The download for today is twofold. The first one is, how do you receive feedback, right? So first off, we got to define what feedback is. We have to talk about what it is and what it's not. Feedback itself is the conversation of receiving information from another person. Right now, you got a couple different ways of receiving feedback. You can ask for people's feedback and you can totally just say, bullshit, I don't like what you said, and you can throw it away, okay? Or what we call deflecting. Okay, so feedback comes in, I deflect it out. Another option with feedback is that feedback comes in and I take it on me and I say, okay, that feedback's me. So the one is, not me, the other one is, totally me. Here's the problem that I found with both, and I tend to show up this way in feedback, and I've gotten a lot of it recently. I spoke at this event last night for the National Drug and Substance Abuse Coalition, and in that conversation I got a ton of feedback afterwards. I had people who loved what I did, I had people who didn't love what I did and how I showed up. I had people who said their lives were transformed, and other people who said it felt like I was yelling at them for an entire 2 hours. So here's the thing, feedback used to totally throw me off in the past, because I would sit in a situation where I would take on what people were saying and I would either reject it immediately and just totally shut down, not hear anything they do, because the only other option for me was to totally take on what they were saying and have it absolutely like put me into a tailspin. So for example, I get done speaking at an event and somebody would say, I thought that sucked, and I'm like, oh, it hurt, man. Oh, dude, it sucked. I need to improve it. What did I do wrong? What do I need to do to fix it? What's wrong with me? Da da da. And then other times people say, oh, it was awesome. And I was like, oh, yeah. So in order to not be in the tipsy-turvy ups and downs of the feedback game, I started deflecting it, okay? Instead of refracting it, which is what I was doing before. So the ultimate place in space and with feedback is that the more certain you are with who you are, and the more certain you are with your calling and your contract, the better you can handle the conversation of feedback. And feedback itself, you can filter through all of the information that people are giving you, and you can find out what's useful, and you can find out what's not useful. The stuff that's useful you can keep, the stuff that's not useful you can get rid of. So I've gotten a lot of feedback about my TV show, AuthenticEntrepreneur.tv, and it's funny because my feedback is all over the place. I got some people who are like, dude, the little smiley face is on there when you're cussing. That's totally hilarious. I got other people who are like, dude, that's bullshit. It's totally inauthentic. You shouldn't have the smiley face on there. I got people like, dude, I love this part of it. It was awesome. I got other people are looking at the same part and saying, no, I don't like it. So here's the thing. Feedback itself is something we should be looking for. We want to know what people are thinking and feeling. But the most important feedback that you can ever get is the feedback from you to yourself, and secondarily from your target market, from your niche. If you don't get feedback from your niche, understand that people outside of your niche are not going to enjoy what you do. On Monday in our weekly wake up coming up here, Monday, April 5th, our weekly wake up topic is that you must take a stand and that your message must polarize in order to magnetize. Meaning if you don't take a stand for something, if you don't stand for something in your business, you don't stand for something in your life, in that direction, it won't matter. You're going to lack the power to ever draw a following, to ever draw people to your message. So I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but in my experience is unless you polarize, you can't magnetize. Polarization is the opposite of magnetizing. If I either draw you in, I magnetize you, or I push you away, I polarize you. And feedback itself, you've just got to be careful about how you deal with it. Because if you take advice and feedback on from someone outside of your target market, you can completely jack your entire business model because you're doing something that's outside of the circle of your contract, your calling, and what you have been contracted to accomplish. Ultimately, you become influenced by those who are never supposed to influence you. So, my contract here, well, it's pretty simple. liberate unconsciousness, liberate those in darkness. This is what I'm called to do. With ruthless compassion, slaying ignorance. This is not a popular thing for some people. They're going to be pissed off about what I do. They're going to be fired up. They're going to give me feedback that's like, you're an idiot, etc. And you know what? I love getting that feedback. I love it. Because it tells me exactly who is not my target market. Because in the same sentence, I have groups that say that was the most impactful, mesmerizing thing I've ever experienced in my life. So, look to your target market, take your stand, and once you take your stand, get ready, because it's going to get crazy. It's going to get freaking ridiculously crazy. And if you're not careful with how you deal with feedback, it can totally tailspin you. And then you become a wandering pansy, constantly seeking to please everyone, hence having the power to lead nobody. This is Garrett J. White reminding you to be real, be raw, be relevant, and most importantly, to be authentic.